Okay, so let's have a look at some of the memory changes that we have in Windows Server 2016 to help us with static memory and being able to dynamically allocate that. So I'm back on that administration machine that I was using before in the previous demo, and you notice that this machine currently has 1 gig of memory allocated to it, and it's working pretty hard. It's sitting around in the high 80s in regards to memory performance. So it's got quite a lot of memory in use and memory that it's actually using. So the workload's working reasonably hard. What I'm going to do I've had a request from the business owner that's running this machine saying, hey, my workload's not running very good. Can you do something for me? But I really can't risk any downtime. So we're just going to go into the Hyper-V manager and we're going to go and change that memory so that we can make that, handle that workload with the increase that that workload actually needs. So I'm going to go into the settings of this particular virtual machine. I'm going to go down to memory, and you notice that we have dynamic memory is not enabled on this machine. We have static memory in here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this to 2 gig of memory for now to see how the workload responds with that. And I'm going to hit apply. And I want you to notice as we move this over a little bit so that you can see my memory here in Task Manager. And I'm going to hit apply on this and watch what happens. Okay, what you're going to see is that this is directly reflected in Task Manager on this machine. So what we've ended up seeing here is that I got a request from the business that they needed their workload wasn't working very well, and we've been able to increase the memory on that machine, and we've halved our workload, how hard that workload is working, just by simply adding additional memory to the device. Now, what if that was an only a seasonal thing or a period in time type of scenario? Well, we could go back and we could actually decrease the amount of memory that that machine has. And I could say, okay, I want to take it back to 1024. And when I hit apply there, now I may or may not get a message from Hyper-V that it wasn't able to actually do that completely. But you notice it was okay at that point in time. And you notice that the memory here has changed. Okay, so we're now at 1021 on the memory there, but there's a bug in Technical Preview 4 now from a instrumentation point of view that doesn't show up. I simply have to close that down and run Task Manager again, and that will allow me to do that. So if I resize this machine and go into Task Manager, and I go to Performance again, you'll notice my memory is now reflected as 1 gig. And then if I go back into Settings, you notice that Hyper-V has looked at the workload and it's been able to allocate the right amount of memory to that workload itself. So hopefully these are some good things that are going to help with memory management in the upcoming release of Server 2016.